You'll hear this too. I hear this from my small town folks. But Roz, there's no meetings in our town. Say, okay, great. Host one yourself. Hey, find some ambassadors either on our team or from a sideline team. Y'all work together. I'll put posts up sometime on my main page, on my personal, Rosalind Payne Facebook page, and say, hey, I'm just talking to my Plexus friends out there. Who out there is from Billings, Montana? And I'll get a whole bunch of people saying I am, and it's not just for my team. Then my team can connect with other teams, and then they can go out there and start hosting meetings together. And I am so proud. Last night, I had 2 out of Boise, Montana, 2 silvers host their first meeting. One said her hand shook like a leaf the entire time she was speaking. But at the end, the whole crowd applauded and stood up for her. And it was so moving. They said it was so sweet, she started crying. And she said it was just a huge moment in her business. She's like, I could do this. She communicated great information, did it pretty nervous and probably a little shaky, but she did it. She stepped outside that comfort zone. Meetings are huge. Also, one last thing I'll say about meetings. I have folks in my downline that can point to a specific meeting and say, that was the day I drew my line in the sand. I remember when it was. It was December 2014. I was downtown Dallas on McKinney Avenue. I was at this meeting, and so-and-so said this, and I said, I'm in. I have 4 ambassadors who can use that in their testimony too. So know that. There's going to be a meeting that resonates with somebody on your team, and that's going to turn them from either a white line to an active line, or it's going to make them a runner. Get people to meetings. It's huge. Team building. Moving a little bit fast through the second half, y'all, because we're a little bit limited on time, so please bear with us. For team building, host weekly and monthly team calls. I know a lot of teams do this and do a great job of it. Make sure you stay consistent, though. Don't start doing it for a couple months and then be like, yeah, we used to do that, but we just kind of fell off. Even if you just have one person on that call, hey, that person's a runner. They gave up time that evening to be on that call with you. So guys, just stick to it. Stick to those calls. Set up lunches, dinners with local ambassadors. This is also a great way to bring your team together. Introduce team members to each other based on commonalities. I'll do that. Okay, all of our gold ambassadors, give me a shout out here, and then they'll all start talking, and I'm like, oh, I'm gold too, and then they all kind of share their struggles and kind of neat contests they do together. And at events, host team get-togethers, events, meeting, convention, leaders retreat. If you have a downline that's coming, host a little breakfast or a coffee. Hey, let's all meet at so-and-so. Because it's really great too when you have team members from all across the U.S. because it brings them together. They only know each other on Facebook. We're doing a welcome get-together for my team in Washington, D.C. at Leaders Retreat. And it's just a great way to connect all these people. I've got my massive teams from Alabama and Georgia. I've got my huge teams in Amarillo, and I've got my Pacific Northwest teams. They all know each other just on Facebook, and they are pumped to get to know each other in person. So make those connections whenever you can, whenever you get them in the same place. Travel if you can. If you can travel to other areas, encourage others to join in. We all need different teams. Aaron gave us a call and said, hey, let's do this for Tulsa. Come on out. We're like, sure, absolutely. I have downlines up here. I have folks here. We're excited to get out. If you can travel, it will grow your business. Did you guys see that picture? This is the last one on this one. Do y'all have anything to add to this? Anything? Okay. This was from the 80s party. How fun is Tamara's team? Oh, I love it. Keeping a positive outlook. This is huge as a leader in Lexus. There's going to be times where we hit rocky patches. There's going to be times when something new is released that we weren't quite ready for. And hey, you know what? As the leader of that team, y'all, hey, we know this is going to be amazing. We know that this business is amazing, Plexus corporate is amazing, and they want their business to succeed because it's their business too. So they're not going to let us fall on our faces. They're not. All wrinkles will be ironed out. That's what happens. That's what happens in business. Change is hard, change is difficult. There's sometimes some challenges with change, but it will all iron out. That's the attitude you need to have with your downlines. When they start getting into this cycle of negativity and someone's sad and someone says, I can't believe this happened. Yeah, I can't believe that either. Oh my gosh, girl, you're not kidding. And it just snowballs. Negativity loves company, y'all. If you can be the one to get in there and say, hey, you guys, I know it's tough, I know it's a challenge, but let's figure out a way that we can all learn this together. Or that we can all change, change the way our downlines feel about this. Let's make sure that they are aware that they're doing everything possible to straighten this out or that out. We have seen, I know Celeste, I'm sure we've all seen, we've seen even Gywnn ambassadors' teams start to crumble a little bit due to negativity. They've gotten up that high, they hit a road bump, and they start getting negative with their team. And their team stops believing in them. Because I mean, who wants to follow a leader that's like, yeah, it's only a month. Anybody else hate this month? This is a hard month. Nobody wants to follow anybody like that. Nobody does. You want to inspire and encourage, and that's what a leader does, and that's the kind of leader people want to follow. You be the one that finds that glass half full. People will mirror how you lead. They will mirror it every single time. So if you're the negative one, they're going to be the negative leader. If you're the positive leader that always does everything you can to try to problem solve and find icing on that cake, that's what they're going to do, because that's what you taught them. Got the picture? Okay. Anything else to add on that?
Good job.
Sorry, we discussed we're moving faster. It's not because they don't have anything to add, because I'm sure they have tons to add. Here's some best business practices that we found. This is just working smarter. Everything on this page right here is something that my team and I kept on a ticker file on our phones. We discussed it at one point. If you guys ever hit a roadblock or something crazy happens and we need to add it to a training, let's add it to our note sections in our phone, and then we'll all compile it. We'll make a slide on the training about it, and that's what this slide is. Work on keeping a high level of communication with your team. Always be available. And if you're not available, like I wasn't because I worked full time, be transparent and tell people when you are. Hi guys, it's Roz. It's going to be a crazy week this week. Remember, I do work full time. You can reach me at my lunch break between 12 and 1. You can reach me at 4 o'clock to 5, and then in the evenings at 8. Otherwise, I'm not reachable, so try to lean on each other and use that little magnifying glass at the top of the pages and check with other team members and see if you can get answers and gather them, and then at those times you can contact me. I was so honest and transparent when I started, so nobody got frustrated with me. Oh, why isn't Ross getting back? Oh yeah, we know that. Remember guys, they would have chats. Remember guys, it's 2 o'clock, Ross can't answer this. Okay, does anybody know this answer? So do your best to keep communication high, telling people when you're available and reaching out to your ambassadors and customers.
Right, be available doesn't necessarily mean be available 24/7.
No.
It's okay to set boundaries and set office hours.
Absolutely.
And put your family first sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So walk away from your business too.
Yeah, put your phone, on Sunday. You want to put your phone down.
Put
That's
your phone
okay.
down. I don't work on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't even look at my Plexus business. In the beginning, did I? Yes, there were times that I was on my phone on Sundays working my business. But it's okay to put your phone down and walk away, because we're preaching this Plexus freedom thing. And to keep our integrity intact, we better really be living this Plexus freedom thing. And if I spend 60 hours a week responding to the 400 inbox messages I get a day, hey guys, quit your 40-hour-a-week job, come join me. I spend 80 hours a week responding to messages. Plexus freedom, this is awesome, So you do have to set some boundaries too, and realize if you're preaching Plexus freedom, you have to live it. And so be available, but nobody has to be available 24/7.
You can set office hours.
Yeah.
Set office hours and put them on your calendar. Say, I only work my Plexus business between 11 and 2 every day.
Just let your team know that.
Whatever it is, however it fits into your life. It doesn't have to be evenings. I did that because I was working full time, and 40 hours were owned by somebody else, so I had to find the time. Once I was able to retire 9 months in, then that completely changed. And then I could have office hours, and I didn't have to work at nights and on the weekends.
You can actually stunt people's growth if you're too available. Because I've done that. Because if you are constantly there and available at every second of the day, and you're going and finding the answer for them, you're stunning their growth, and you are not empowering them as leaders. And what we want to do, whether we have one ambassador, we're silver, we're gold, we're ruby, we want to bring up leaders so they can lead their teams instead of always relying on yourself.
And you can't enable your team because it'll stop and growth. Awesome. Know that you are not any downline's boss. You can't say, hey, by 5 o'clock on Friday, I need a white line report sent to me and emailed at this address. No, can't do that. You are their leader. You're there to encourage, inspire, help them grow their business, and that's where it ends. If you do see some inappropriate actions, maybe on Facebook or some things, you're welcome to just, give them a little nudge and say, hey, that's probably not how we want to, lead. on this team, that's probably not the best avenue. I mean, you could, and if you hit a struggle or a situation like that, that's kind of a challenge, get with your upline and talk to them about it, and they can help you walk through that. Be careful when adding customers and ambassadors that you know have talked to or spoken to someone else first. This is very challenging when it's a small town, a small church, a small school. You all run in the same circles. If somebody comes to you and says, yeah, I've been hearing about Plexus a lot, I've done a trial pack, first thing you need to say is, who is that you were working with? Who is that gave you that trial pack? That's who you need to be sending them back to. And say, you know what, you should probably give them a call and order because they're awesome products. When you start poaching, meaning just taking everybody you possibly can, that causes mistrust in the teams. It will cause mistrust to the person who was the ambassador who initially bought or sold to them. And again, God knows who He wants on your team. So don't get greedy, y'all. Be patient. Work your business. Work it with integrity, because everybody that you pass up and you send back to who they originally heard it from, God will send somebody else to your team. I promise you. Do the right thing and your team will flourish. When you're eager to rank up, make sure you're doing things professionally and ethically. We can't get on our downlines business and start ordering from them just so we can rank up. If Plexus sees that your credit card was used on multiple transactions, they can shut you down. And that we actually got an email about that the other day, recently, I think this week. So just be careful, guys. Do things the right way, okay? Do your best not to take customers' lack of results personally. We talked about this earlier, and different ways to peel back that onion that we talked about. Always encourage your downlines to purchase local packs 100% of the time. We want our customers to be products of the product. We want them to turn into ambassadors and become products of the products. Also know too, y'all, when you have a new customer or a new ambassador that signs up and their first time trying the products is with that welcome pack, treat them like a new customer too. Don't just immediately start shoving business on them. They're also a new customer, but they're in it because they believe in you and they trust you and they saw all of our testimonies. So make sure you're following up with them every 3 days and making sure that they're taking their products correctly. And keep mindful of compliance and keep your posts within compliance rules. We know there's a lot of basic compliance rules, there's a lot of gray areas, but just do your best to follow the rules that are set forth for Plexus. They do have some basic rules in resources in the back office. And do your 531 daily. Like we said earlier, and your business will grow. That's the last bullet if y'all want to take this one. Good paparazzi. Everybody has pink phones too. Not gonna lie, that's really cute. I'm going to go through this super fast because I know we're running on time. These are just some hot buttons for compliance. Compliance is the department in Plexus that keeps our businesses viable and okay with the FDA, okay? We cannot post that products cure, treat, or prevent any disease. We cannot use the word candida in post. You can talk about candida, you can talk about ProBio 5 in separate posts, but you cannot put those two terms, or Plexus and candida, in the same post. FDA sees candida as a disease, therefore they own it, therefore we cannot share that with our supplements. You cannot post a photo of a branded trademark. There's a lot that go around with the Starbucks cup and, beforehand you spend it on this and do that. Just be careful. That's actually not a compliance. That's more of a Federal Trade Commission issue. Starbucks could get mad if they see their product being used in a manner in which they did not intend. So be careful with that. Putting up a Frito-Lay, a Mary Kay, any type of logos of another company.
Celebrities too.
Celebrities, big time. This one was bad in 2013. We had a specific celebrity whose likeness was being shared, and we got really pounded for that one. And we didn't know. A lot of us were naive. We didn't know. We thought, oh my gosh, how cool, she's using it? Well, she's not approved for us to do that. So Disney cartoons also. Yeah, any major branded trademark, y'all, just, we don't have to use it to grow our business. So, and if you are wondering, should I, and you're on the fence, just be safe and don't post it, don't share it. We cannot post the dollar amount of how much we make. Even those posts that say, would you like to make $500 extra a month? Inbox me, I'll tell you how. I got called for that. I got a phone call from compliance on that one. I didn't know. This was end of 2014. And they said, hey, Ross, they were very sweet about it. And they're not going to call you and yank away your ambassadorship. But they'll just gently say, hey, listen, we're not allowed to do that. So please pull any dollar amounts out. We will be sending out a graphic that shows the revenue of all the ambassadors, which you all have seen, the red graph, the bar graph. That was before that had gone out. And not long after that, it went out. So they followed through with what they said. So, and don't post personal websites in your statuses, you all know that. That's pretty much a standard in this business. You just post that down in comments. Okay, one other thing too that was on here, it's not on here, is posting about children. Do not post about children unless it is in conjunction with the X-Factor chewable vitamins. You can share a testimony personally with a friend, but do not post that on your feed on Facebook. These products were not intended for children. Your pediatrician will pretty much approve probably 100% of these products, but because they have not been approved and tested for them, just like any other medication, just like Advil on the shelf of the bottle that's for adults, that one is not approved for children. They have made a separate bottle for children, which is why we have a separate bottle for X-Factor. So just be careful in sharing posts about children. Here's some concerns people might have. People say, I'd like to keep my Plexus posts private. You can do that. You can set up a separate distribution. At the bottom of the box, when you do a post, there's a button. You hit that button, and you can send that post to everybody except. You have a boss you might not want to see it, who is giving you a lot of heat about you leaving their company for Plexus. You can do a post, click everybody except, and type in that person's name. That person will never see the post, nor if they go to your page will they see the post. A lot of people really like this function. People say I'm worried about annoying people with my posts. Celeste touched on this very early on. With the cats. I mean, don't worry about who you're going to annoy. Because you know what? Set pride aside and your business will flourish. If they're annoyed, I'm sorry, you are marketing products that can change somebody's life. You're marketing a business that could change somebody's life. And if they're not okay with that, sorry.
Roz, I feel like if you're focusing on who you're worried about, you're focusing on the wrong people. Because there are people like Janie and Mike Howard that's who I do this for, is for the next Janie and Mike. And so shift your focus from who you're worried about to the potential out there, the people that need to hear this. And you can't focus on two things at once. So focus on the ones that need to hear it.
People say, I don't know enough about the products to start sharing. Oh, y'all, you can learn along the way. I didn't know anything. I just knew that Celeste had lost 35 pounds. My first post had nothing to do with my successes. It just talked about what all my friends had been experiencing. I said, Celeste has lost 35 pounds. Here's a picture of her before and after. Who wants to join this journey with me? And people started inboxing me. That's all I said. And I didn't know everything about all the products. And if somebody asked me, sometimes I would say, you know what, give me a second. I'm not quite sure, but I will find out that answer for you. And I made sure I found it out and got back as quick as I could. They really liked that. They were like, thank you for actually going and finding that out for me. People will really, when you're honest with them, transparent with them, people really relate to that. I just feel strong. I just feel like I need a strong before and after before sharing. Absolutely not. I didn't have a before and after when I shared. I don't have ADD or ADHD, but I sell the heck out of ProBio 5 for families that do struggle with ADD and ADHD. That's not a testimony of mine. That wasn't a before and after of mine. I don't have an autoimmune disorder, but I can sell the triplex to anybody who has one. Do y'all see where I'm going with that? Everyone is ranking up around me. Do not let comparison steal your joy. Everybody's journey is different. Every single person's journey. I know we moved up pretty fast. Some move slower, but hey, every single person's journey is different and it's special. And at the end of those journeys, for you folks that are moving a little bit slower, you're going to have such a fabulous testimony when you do hit Emerald and you can say, you know what, I struggled and I stuck it out. Yeah, these girls up here, they moved fast and they did that, and they were just lucky, but you know what, I didn't. I worked 3 years, 4 years, and I got here. That is a relatable testimony. People say I'm losing customers, ambassadors, and I say, are you really doing everything to keep them? Are you following up? Are you checking in? Are you calling them? Are you helping squelch their worries? Are you encouraging them? Really put that up to your folks and say, are you really doing everything for your team? Let's see if there's one more. And then just my last comment here is, if you come to the game with excuses, you're convincing yourself you cannot achieve your goals. We're going to go through compensation really, really quick. Okay, I got it about. Sorry, guys. Okay. This is always a fun page. I know we've seen the financial potential on the graphic that goes around because we're in a smaller environment. We can share it this way as well. This is the average commission per month that ambassadors earn pretty much on our teams across the board. Silvers can make from $200 to $1,500 per month. Gold senior, gold $1,000 to $4,000. Ruby senior, ruby. Emeralds. The jewels on my team, probably about $9,000 a month is about nowadays where they're starting. 14 at sapphire and diamond ambassadors. I don't really know anyone who's made less than $20,000 a month. Y'all, this is crazy. But this is the compensation plan that they set up for us, and it's amazing. And of course, the reason there is a fluctuation, y'all, is because this is based on PV, which is your personal volume. Some people have a lot of sales. Some people have a little sales. I had a level 5 who had $12,000 in PV one month. He was a gold ambassador. He made a nice hefty paycheck that month. But that was very different from the other gold ambassador who had 10. Do you understand? That's why we have a range.
His name is Scott Payne.
Oh, his name is Scott Hanky. Thanks. And you know how cute is it that his dog's name is Hanky Hanky? He's fabulous. If y'all don't know, Scott Payne was the YouTube sensation, the Uptown Funk YouTube sensation. And he's fabulous. And hard working. He's now senior ruby. He'll probably be emerald in the next 2 months, so we're super proud of him. Jewel rank advancements. People ask me often. I mean, they hear us just kind of ramble about it. Everyone hears about the car and the Maui trip, but just maybe a couple little slides just to really highlight what the jewel advancements are so you all understand. The first jewel advancement is when you hit emerald. That's 1,500 points. Emerald ambassadors earn 3% of the 50% profits that are given to ambassadors. So ambassadors are paid 50% of the profits of the company. Of that 50%, 5% is divided up amongst the jewels. So when you hit emerald, you earn 3%. Are there any emerald ambassadors in this room? Ooh. These ladies right here earn 3%. They each earned a Lexus, and they earned a trip for 2 to Maui. Congratulations, ladies. Yay! Plexus for the Lexus program too, they give an allotment of $500 every month. You buy or lease the car on your own. That deal is between you and the dealership. But once you send them your deed to your car and a picture of you with your car, Plexus reimburses you $500 a month at the emerald level. This is the Lexus program I was just referring to. And at emerald, you have your choice of the white cars. I don't know what all of the actual car makes are. And then at diamond, it's the larger black, the SUVs, and Celeste is a double diamond, and so she has 2 Lexus. The Maui trip was amazing. We all just got back from Maui, those that went. It's an all expense paid. They pay for your airfare. They give us $1,000 for airfare. If you're a diamond, they give you $2,000 for tickets so you can fly first class. Put us up in the Fairmont Kilani. They gave us last year Maui gems, this year Tiffany tennis bracelets. It was the most amazing trip I've ever been on. Both years, they're amazing. I said this last night. I'm a usual traveler. We stay at Hampton Inns. That's about how we roll. So me rolling into the Kilani was just unbelievable, and it's just such a blessing that they're so giving at our company. They have a big luau at the end of the week. Celeste team, all of us got together and pitched in, and we didn't rent a boat, but we all pitched in and got space on a boat where we all went snorkeling for the whole day together. I mean, just a lot of fun. This was last year when we did it. This year, it was like 4 times the size of that. It was a ton of fun. So when you hit sapphire, that's the next rank advancement. So I told you at emerald you have 3% profit share. Now you make another 1% profit share. So now you're making 4% of that profit share. You earn luggage. It's fabulous luggage. It really is. And that's
And a dog.
And you do get a dog with a little yeah. You get my dog. Every one of you will get my dog. Her name is Molly. She's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Diamonds. When you advance to diamond, that's 4,500 points. 1,100 of those points have to be outside your primary leg so that you have a pretty viable business once you hit diamond. And you get another 1%. profit share, so now you're making 5% profit share. That's a line item on your paycheck. You earn diamond tennis bracelets, diamond stud earrings. There's also a lot of other perks that go along with being a diamond. Corporate does a lot of special events that throughout the year, and they'll invite the diamonds. And now they gave us 2 rooms. If you wanted to bring your family, they gave you an extra room for your family. I mean, just gracious, right and left. Very thankful to our hard work, and the compensation on it is unbelievable. On top of all this, there's amazing events. Convention is in June of next year. Convention's a blast. Yes, I'm sorry. It just happened. I'm all caught up here. It's in June of next year. Location will be announced at Leaders Retreat. Leaders Retreat's next week or week after next. This week. Gosh, my weeks. I've been traveling for a while. So, who here is going to DC? DC is going to be a blast. Last year we went to Orlando, Florida. Of any event since I've been with Plexus, Leaders Retreat was my favorite because everybody there had to earn it. So everybody there is a runner. Everybody there is as passionate as you are. You can be as cheesy about Plexus as you possibly want to be, and nobody's going to look down on you. Wearing swag, getting excited, lots of fun, and all of your runners from your team go. And that's what's fabulous about it, from all over the U.S. You know, I think I'm going to have probably 120 from my team that are going this year, and I am just giddy to get to spend quality, intentional time with my team. Super Saturday is going to be on the second weekend, I believe, maybe third weekend of Saturday. It is an event that is held across multiple cities around the U.S. I don't know how many cities it was. It was 11 or 12. This was last year, Super Saturday in Dallas. Super Saturday is fabulous because it's free and anybody can go. So make a point to go. It's a long train, about 4 or 5 hours. Fabulous. Great networking opportunity. If you do go and bring your team, organize maybe a little dinner afterwards. It's a fun, fun day, y'all. So, and also it's great because a list will come out soon of all the cities that are hosting Super Saturdays. You can look and find where your ambassadors can travel to go to certain cities. So really in the end, you know, we kind of say, so what's your dream? You know, we're all up here living our dream. It's really hard for me to put it into words. You know, I was the typical mom. I drove a minivan. It was hail-dented. The left door never worked. Nice. Celeste said so embarrassing. Like that. You know, I just cut coupons. I only shopped at Walmart and Target. That was okay, though. It was my life, and I was okay with it.
Tell them about when you bought brand name detergent. It's a good story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, y'all. I got real coffee one day when I turned emerald, and I was at Target, and I was doing my grocery shopping. You know, I reached for the Tide. It wasn't Arm & Hammer, it wasn't Cheer, y'all, it was Tide. And I walked down that aisle, full of coffee, I'm not gonna lie to you. Bounty double pack, Duracell, 10-pack, go for it. Put that in the front because it was big. It was a big day. And it's so cheesy, but as a mother, as the one who always did the shopping and always bought the cheapest of everything on that aisle, to be able to put something of better quality in my family's hands, wash their clothes in nicer detergent, give them batteries that will last more than a week. It's the little things, but it sure blesses my family. And of anything, I'm just so thrilled to be able to give my children a future I never thought they could have. I thought I would work until my last day. We had no 401k. We burned through that during the recession. We had nothing in savings, and we were deep, deep in debt. And now I can say we're near debt-free outside the house. We're working on paying off the house. I'm able to take my children on their dream vacation this year to Disney World. Just able to live a life that I cannot even imagine could ever have been mine. And this can be every one of y'all's too. You just dream it. You just get with your outline, tell them what your dreams and goals are, and they will help you attain that. We will help you too, because we want everyone to have the same freedom we have. So, thanks for this part. Thank you so much.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bring up Audrey Parker, and Audrey's an Emerald Ambassador. She's my upline and my sister. She's going to share with us a little bit about doing these online opportunity events, just some tips and tricks on how to make those happen. Have you guys seen those going around? She's going to help us to try it and do it very effectively. So there she is.
Hi, good morning. It's morning still, right? Okay, yeah. So this morning we'll talk a little bit. I'm going to try to do this quickly because I know they want to do a little panel up here. So, but we're going to talk a little bit about online events, and I can already see the eyes rolling. How many of you all have been added to an online event this week? Raise your hand. Okay. How many in the past 2 weeks? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you were asked if you wanted to come before you were added to the Facebook group? Raise your hand. Did you all hear the question? Oh, okay. So you all see where I'm going here with that, right? People are just going through their Facebook friends page, dumping 200 names into a party and hoping somebody's going to show up. Hope is not a good business plan, okay? You got to have some action behind it, and that's why a good invite is going to be an important part of our conversation today. So, we got to have action, and we can sprinkle a little hope on top of that action plan or that business plan and a whole lot of prayer. But hope should not be the thing that you expect to work. So let's talk a little bit. I'm just going to go very quickly. We'll talk a little bit about the benefits of an online opportunity meeting. We'll talk a little bit about an effective invite. I'll give you some tips and trips and ticks. I've been drinking over here. It's coffee. Some tips and tricks on how to host an event. So, while these are great, these are a great way to kind of generate interest and share the product information, we shouldn't solely rely on these online events. We still need to do those live events. If you were able to come to last night's live event, you just cannot match the passion and the excitement and the electricity in the room. So make sure that you continue to make those part of your business building efforts. But look at this more of it as a supplement, because it allows you to reach maybe a different group of people that you were not able to touch through a live event. For example, somebody's very ill, they're not able to leave home. We can give them a link to our event. They can sit for 2 hours and learn about the products. Maybe somebody has some child care issues, not able to get away there. Or maybe you're working with somebody who's super shy, a little introverted, they like their alone time. I totally get that. I'm Miss Introvert herself, okay? So if you give me a choice between going to a room full of strangers and sitting in my jammies at home, I'm an introvert, and I'm going to pick number 2 every time. I might warm up to the big room full of strangers eventually, but I got to ease into it, right, as an introvert. So introverts unite separately, right? I totally get that. Yeah, it's the way I roll. Now I have to give credit to my baby sister, Cassie. Cassie, stand up for a second so they can see you. Cassie really kind of dug this idea out and brought it to my team. Thank you. And she's my resident, my expert here, so I'm not letting her get too far away just in case somebody asks me a real hard question. I'll just lean over. So she's going to be my helper today. But she really very quickly found this, implemented it, saw the value in it, and got her team on board. And so her team, I think they've thrown 6 events this summer. They do one about every 30 days. And they not only have seen their business sustained through the summer months, but they're actually experiencing growth coming out of the summer, which is fantastic for the summer months. Some of her new folks are even using this online concept to do a soft launch of their business, and it gives them buys them a little time to learn more about the products and what to say before they do a hard launch live in front of people in their own home or something like that. So Cassie stumbled across this idea on Sarah Marble's YouTube channel. So Sarah and a couple of her ladies created a script of 34 posts, and this online event is only a little 2-hour session. We're not going to drag this online event out over 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 30 days, eternity. Are some of you guys part of in those parties where there's like, this has been going on since 2012? Delete, right? That company's still even around, right? So, in these 34 posts, it's going to include a disclaimer, product knowledge about every single product. It's going to have a little bit about the business opportunity, and they're going to sprinkle in some drawings and prizes throughout the little 2-hour session. Okay? So, we'll get into a little bit more detail about that in just a few minutes. But let's talk a little bit about the importance of an effective invite. So earlier I asked you to raise your hand if you've been to a party, makeup, skincare, candles, whatever. A lot of you raised your hand. Probably some of you have been added to 4 or 5 parties right now. You have 4 or 5 or 60. You know, Celeste it's ridiculous the amount of parties that she gets added to. And she buys the stuff, but she has her person that she buys from. So she, doesn't need any extra selling there. So the thing is, I ask you the question, how many of you were invited personally? And nobody raised their hand. That is where it's the rubber meets the road. This is where you're going to increase your attendance level just by making it personal. Once you get personal with people, then they're going to show up. Okay? So yes, make a graphic on Facebook, post it, get some general interest going, but it's time to get on that 100 list of people that you created and start sending out a text message, a private message, an email, or a phone call. Okay? Well, how might that sound? Okay, so I'll just give you an example of my neighbor and what I said to her. She has seen, heard, I'm marketing Plexus on my cul-de-sac. If it's not even cloudy outside, I still put my Plexus shade thing in the window because I want all my neighbors to see Plexus when they get up in the morning, and even when it's dark outside, it's in my window because I want it to be seared to their brain. So she'd been asking some questions about it, and just very small talk, and I didn't want to do the fire hose and blow her down with Plexus. So it's tiptoe, but so Cassie started doing this thing, and she asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said yes. And so I'm gonna add somebody to the group page. So I asked my neighbor. I said, "Hey, neighbor Nancy, listen, my sister is going to be doing this online event or party, and we're testing it out. We're going to give it a try. It's like a little 2-hour thing, Tuesday night, 7 to 9, and she's going to be kind of showing us a little bit about the products. Would you be willing to be my guest, and you could give me some honest feedback on how you think it went? If the information was clear, you could sit in your jammies and just watch from your comfy chair, grab a glass of. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll add you to the group page." Immediately, she said, "Sure." And it wasn't because, goody, I get to learn about Plexus, but it was, goody, I'm going to help Audrey. I'm going to give her some feedback. So that was the way that I took it with her. Now, sometimes when you reach out to people, you'll get different types of responses, like no response at all. Okay, that's going to happen, right? This is a numbers game, folks, and it's the same way with personal invites to a live event. The more people that you talk to, the more the increase that you will have in attendance, right? So if I make it a goal of reaching out to 10 people on my list, 5 might get back to me and 1 may attend. Okay, that's just the way the ball bounces. It's a numbers game. Okay, so with Cassie, she really got her team rallied around this event. And she really set it up. She said, "All right, I want each of you to reach out to 5 people on your 100 list, And you could even go deeper than that, and you could say, let's do 5 a day for the next 5 days. Okay, so think about how many people are going to be touched or reached or personally invited when you put a challenge out like that. Okay, so she, you may get a response that is, well, you know, I have softball that day, or my children have whatever. Okay. My response would be, oh, okay, great. Well, next month we're going to do it, but on a different night. So I'll circle back with you next month. Okay? So I'm already telling her, we are not done yet, right? We are not done, but in a very nice way, right? Someone may say, you know, I don't know what my schedule looks like on Tuesday. Oh, okay. Well, check your calendar, and I'll get back with you day after tomorrow. We'll see how Tuesday looks for you. Okay, you see what I'm doing? We are not done yet, right? But I'm doing it in a very nice way. And then like my neighbor, Nancy, she's, sure, sign me up, let's go. Where do I go? So what I would say to her is, all right, I'm going to add you to the Facebook group page today. On the night of the event, I'll send you a link to that page so it's easy for you to find. And that way we can even ask questions back and forth through private message if you'd like. And so that way she knows that I'm going to circle back around with her before it actually starts. I'm going to remind her. I may even remind her early in the day. But if I've already added her to that page, as the host starts creating stuff, she's going to do some posts before the actual event takes place. It's going to show up in her news feed. It's going to show up in her notifications. Okay, so we're going to remind her a couple of different ways just through the script. Okay? Now, let's talk about hosting the event. I'm going to break it down into 3 categories. What to do before, what to do during, and what to do after. Okay? So beforehand, set a time and a date and open a group page or an event page, whichever one you prefer. We have tried it both ways, and there are things that I like about each, and there are things that I don't like about each. So I encourage you to try them both and figure out what works best for your team and for your people. Okay. Once you get that group page, get your team on board to start challenging them to invite people. And as people start saying yes, add your guests to the group page. Now here's the crucial thing. If people are not responding, or if people are saying no, not this month, or I'm not sure, don't add them to the group page until they give you a yes, okay? Circle back with them next month, but don't add them unless they actually say yes. That's really important, okay? We want to be respectful of that with people, and sometimes when you find yourself in a group page that you've not been asked to be a part of, it just sticks in your craw, doesn't it? A little bit. So remember, this is a relationship business, and we want to build relationships. We don't want to irritate people, okay? Also, make sure that you round up a couple of prizes for the event. You'll have 3 drawings for guests and 1 drawing for ambassadors. So you'll need a total of 4 prizes. You'll want to pick an A player or a power partner on your team to help you with some activities. Like, for example, if Cassie is the host of the event, she's going to be very busy posting. There's those 34 posts that I told you about. They're going to happen in 3-minute increments. Okay, in order for her to get through in a 2-hour period, she's going to be busy cutting and pasting every 3 minutes. She's even going to probably set a timer on her phone for 3-minute intervals so that she doesn't get behind. It's very easy to get behind if you don't have a time that is pushing you forward. That meeting can turn into 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm telling you, it's a quick way to lose somebody, for sure, okay? If you do it in 3-minute increments, it will last 1 hour and 40 minutes. It gives you about 20 minutes of leftover time for housekeeping stuff. And what I mean by housekeeping is gathering up shipping information for your 4 winners, thanking them for coming. I can't think of anything else. Oh, just general question and answers. They may want to know, well, you know, where do I get me some of that stuff, right? All right, now during the event, I've already kind of described it for you. Let's say Cassie is the host. She's going to be busy posting every 3 minutes. So she's recruited me as her power partner, and I'm gonna keep track of the drawings. So when she posts, and what she's trying to do is she's trying to draw out our guests to get them to make comments on there and to generate excitement. So she may say, well, who invited you to our event tonight? And so Nancy Neighbor, she's going to put in Audrey Parker. So she's going to be entered into a drawing because she commented underneath that post, okay? So my job is to keep track of everybody that's commented on those drawings. I'm going to do a random picker on my phone, and I'm going to feed her the information and say, oh, neighbor Nancy. Not really. I really randomly picked. Neighbor Nancy won the first thing, so then she would, you know, make that announcement. Okay, so you want to have team members in there actively participating. Another thing that I think is really important for you to understand is that when your ambassadors are inviting people, yes, that's important, but once it's time to start the event, when she posts about a product, let's say Plexus body cream, she needs her ambassadors, her team members, to go onto that post and start making comments like, I use this on bug bites and sunburns all summer long. This has really helped with my eczema. This is so great for my skin at night. My skin loves it. My acne is so much better, okay? So your customers, your guests are seeing this general post, they're seeing a graphic, and now they're getting about 12 mini rave reviews about this product, and they start getting excited. And the way you can tell is because they start asking questions like, well, how much does that cost? What's the shipping on that? What's the website I use to order? Whenever they start responding with things like that, that's when you almost got it. You are almost there, okay? So that's really exciting. Now, at the end of after the event, we want to make sure that we encourage our ambassadors to open up a private message after the event and thank their guests for coming. And this is a great chance to follow up because they're just coming off of an hour and 40 minutes of great information. They're excited about some product that they saw and they want to give it a try. So we need to follow up with that person while we've got them excited. They may want some more product information. They may want ingredients. They may want to know a price list. They may want to know, how do I order? Okay? So as soon as the event is over, that is the best time to follow up, coming right off that event. Okay, let's get them while they're excited. Now, where do I get a script like that script that Sarah Marble put together? I'm going to give you my email address, and if you will just put in the description, send script, I'll just post it, or I'll attach it and send it right back to you, okay? It's audreylovesplexus@gmail.com.
How do you spell Audrey?
AUDREY, audreylovesplexus@gmail.com. Now, understand that this is, you can take this and adjust it, use different graphics, whatever you choose. Make it your own. Make sure you read through it, it makes sense to you, and the flow is right for you. We took Sarah's and adjusted the graphics just a little bit for our style. But we've had great success with this in Cassie's downline. And I know, I think some of Aaron's team is starting to pick up this idea and use it, okay? So the magic is in the comments. You've got to get your ambassadors to create comments and create excitement around each of those posts.
Have them make a Word document with their comment, and so they can copy and paste.
Yes. So also before the event begins, Cassie she asked each of their ambassadors, just make a Word document of what you would comment about Slim. What would you comment about body cream? What would you comment about ease? go ahead and write out your one or two sentence response. So as the event takes place, it's now you're copying and pasting from your own Word document, and you don't have to type it out every single time. Okay, so now that they've done 6 events, they already know what their comments are going to be. It's just a cut and paste, and then we can interact with their guests. Yeah, they can interact, ask questions, answer questions, you know, give some shout outs, all that kind of stuff. Do you all have any questions for me about this? Yes, ma'am.
So how many people have you been able to get on these particular?
It varies. I have been on some where there were over 250 invited, and that was my biggest one. There were 250 invited, and I would say just through the interaction, I went back through and I read all the comments and looked at who was interacting. Probably out of 58 that were invited, there were probably 60 that were interacting. But I had my team, I invited everybody on my team to participate, and then there were 2 other ambassadors in the Dallas area who were not on my team, but wanted to try it, and we partnered together, and so we had a big one. That one is a pretty big one, and it can get a little crazy in there because it's 3 minutes post, and you're just moving pretty quick.
That's pretty good if you have, that's over 20%.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, that's how many said yes and were added to the page. Okay, so that all these ambassadors may ask 10 people, and 1 said yes. So the one that said yes turned into 258 that said yes. So I don't know how many we asked prior to adding them to the Facebook page, but that was the biggest one. We did one where there was a little soft launch. It was for a brand new gal and just for people that she knew. And I think probably she invited 40 people, and she had 6 on there interacting with her. And then there were a couple of ambassadors that were on there, creating comments and stuff to help generate interest. So, but big or small, they're all worth the time that you put into it. Okay, if you do it right, if you invite correctly, and you have ambassadors on there making comments and generating excitement, if you do it correctly, you can benefit from it. Does anybody else have a question? Okay, yes ma'am.
I just wanted to clarify, who's answering the questions? All of your
The ambassadors, yeah. So I want them to participate by looking for any questions that need to be filled and answered, and so that way I can just concentrate on getting the next post up. Yeah, so they're really making it happen for you. Yes, ma'am.
As far as the prizes, were there like games? How did that go, and how did the ambassador get a prize?
So the ambassador prize, we have an ambassador who's created this binder called First Fruits, and it's kind of a binder that gets people started and has all that stuff. And so with that was the prize for the ambassador. Now the ambassador, in order to enter to win, I think they had to respond to, what was a testimony. Yeah, share with us how Plexus has changed your life, either with a product or financially, and maybe like just 3 or 4 sentences. And so every ambassador that shared their testimony, a very short version, was entered for the drawing for the binder. Okay, and the other 3 drawings, I think the first one was tell us who invited you. That was one of them. Tell us what you're interested in learning, and I want to know more about Plexus Slim. And then when we're almost through presenting the product, we'll throw in and say, so what do you like so far? Which one are you most interested in trying? Just to kind of see, what's struck their fancy. So those are the 3 ones, and we're just trying to pull them out of the woodwork and interact with them. Okay, and some people will do that for a prize. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
One of the things I love about these is they don't cost you anything to do. I mean, a few prizes,
And really, you could probably make some adjustments on how you want to do that. So it's really nice to be able to, not necessarily have to pay for a venue, projector, screen, all of that. If you want to try one of these online events and then be like Cassie, who's been very successful and able to do these very regularly and get lots of people. So thank you, Audrey. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we've got about 20 minutes, and I thought there's really no better way to wrap up this time than to pick their brains just one more time, right? So we're just going to have a bit of a Gywnn panel. I'm going to ask just a few questions, and this will just give us an opportunity to let them share those one last things that maybe they didn't get to do earlier. The thing I loved about the boot camp was that we really did get to hear